Is this the last chance to buy Bitcoin cheaply? The US Bitcoin Reserve is here. This is supposed to be reworked as a bill, or rather as a law, so that no future president can overturn it. And the crypto stockpiles are here. What this is all about, how everything is currently unfolding, and why it might be the last chance, all here in the video. Hey, welcome to Crypto Owl. Fiery speech at the beginning, and in this video I want to show what is happening right now and that it is actually extremely bullish, but that the media is mixing a lot of things causing Bitcoin to currently fall, which can be a great opportunity. So let's take a look at the whole thing, and we'll start with a very sad picture. Yes, and eyes need to be opened wide because minus 13,561, and that was 5 hours ago. Let's go in now, and it looks even worse. Now we even see that Bitcoin has fallen below 80,000 US dollars. But it's not just Bitcoin, to be honest. There are a few others that have fallen here. Look at MicroStrategy, Texas Palantir, Alphabet, all have fallen down there. We can also look at this directly in the chart, here in my favorites list. Red, the market is currently red, but also CoinEx. Here the crypto is heavily falling, and of course this also pulls down the S&P and the indices. The indices are going down, and there we also see a drastic downward movement in the 4-hour chart. And unfortunately, we see this with Bitcoin as well. And unfortunately, this is still the correlation we are seeing here. So we just have to be honest that it doesn't look good right now. Let's dive into this Bitcoin reserve. Or rather, here's another note, minus 27%. The rally, or the upswing after the announcement of the US Strategic Reserve, has completely fizzled out. That's exactly what we see here. Here's the announcement. And by now, we're actually right back where we were before. Yes. Why? How come? We can take a look at that now, and first we need to talk about what this Bitcoin reserve actually is. So, is it really there now? Does the USA now have a Bitcoin reserve? And why does the price drop if they have one? And let's dive into that. Indeed, the strategic Bitcoin reserve in the USA is there. The Bitcoin price dropped significantly after US President Trump signed the executive order to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Why? No explanation on how the reserve is to be funded, apart from the Bitcoins the USA already owns. It is merely a promise not to sell the current holdings. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into now and take a closer look at the whole thing. What does this reserve actually mean? Or rather, what exactly was signed here? Or what was done here? Interestingly, Elon Musk was also in the room, and he didn't tweet about this topic at all. On that day, many executive orders were signed. And there was no tweet from Elon Musk about it, but there were tweets about all the others. So, is Elon Musk even behind it? But anyway, let's take a look at the whole thing. So, we have two topics here. This is very important to understand. We have two topics. This is not a crypto reserve, as it was initially called. That's why we'll also take a look at the prices of the crypto reserve cryptocurrencies in a moment. We now have a US Bitcoin reserve and a US crypto. I call it crypto, but officially it's called digital asset stockpile. For me, it's a crypto stockpile, namely the Bitcoin reserve. All seizures involving Bitcoin in the USA are firmly added to this reserve and not sold. They don't want to take fresh, quote-unquote, fresh taxpayer money to buy Bitcoin. They don't want to at all, because, quite honestly, they earn tens of dollars in taxes every month, every day. If they were to always convert it into Bitcoin, it would go infinitely upwards and they would buy up all the Bitcoin. And in the end, no one would have anything left. So, another way must be found. And this other way is currently being sought as to how more Bitcoin will likely be purchased. I intentionally included this likely here for explanation because currently it's not known how the whole thing will be financed. Thinking about the first post, it's currently unknown how the whole thing will be financed. And that's exactly the big issue. Here Doge, or the Department of Government Efficiency by Elon Musk, could come into play again. Everything he saves could potentially be partially invested in Bitcoin, and new Bitcoin could be purchased from it. If we're honest, it's also taxpayer money, but old taxpayer money, not new, fresh. Yes, but since Elon Musk hasn't tweeted or reported about it, many assume that he might be saying here, no, my money will be used differently and more for the citizens, rather than for a Bitcoin reserve, which I don't think much of anyway. At least that's the current impression. But, let's be honest, Elon Musk is quite similar to Donald Trump. He doesn't really want to show his hand. Hence here, very reserved on many topics, and in the end, he surprises us after all. Yes, maybe also when it comes to Doge. We are very curious Now we move on to the next topic, which is the digital asset stockpile. And here it gets interesting. And we'll also take a look at the prices, and we'll see that they have really taken a hit afterwards. Namely, cryptocurrencies are being bought and sold again. So, trading is being conducted here. This includes the mentioned ADA, Affirm, Solana, and XRP. So the cryptocurrencies that were previously touted as crypto reserves, precisely, the heart of it all is the leadership with Bitcoin. That's why I have noted down 2 leaderships here. However, there are many people who still claim that this Bitcoin reserve might be expanded with leaderships. Although I believe that there are also many winners. I believe that the whole thing won't go through. Like, for example, a Bitcoin sub-leadership reserve. I don't believe in it. Honestly, I think it would also be a wrong signal or a wrong sign for the whole thing. Yes, and now we have all these media that are reporting on this topic. Stockpile and Bitcoin reserve. And yes, they are actually buying digital assets like Bitcoin and want to sell them again. That's how it is stated here in the stockpile. So everything is being mixed up again. And because of this mixing, everything is just falling. In addition to the current financial market, we have just seen it, which is also currently falling. So it's not just Bitcoin that's constantly falling here, but also the S&P 500, which is in free fall. Look here at the daily chart. It has been in free fall in the last few days since the 20th. February, in free fall downwards. Yes, we have a day of recovery with green candles in between, but it is in free fall. And of course, Bitcoin notices exactly that. We don't need to discuss it. Bitcoin, February 20th. It is here. Since then, it has actually been here. The first red candle. Since then, it has also been under pressure. Then came the announcement about Bitcoin, or rather, crypto reserve, then a brief recovery, but the very next day, the sell-off again. So it is also in free fall. So that's not the case right now. That one would say, Bitcoin and crypto, everything is dead, everything is over. No, the financial market is also under pressure. One just has to be honest about that. Even the DAX with its soaring here. We are in a recession. How can the DAX keep rising? Someone needs to explain that to me. So, and now it also seems to be taking a hit here. It also goes down sometimes. Yes, it has also been hit. So we have to be honest. It doesn't always go up, it also goes down sometimes. And when you're down, you can gain momentum to climb even higher. Everyone needs to realize that at some point, I feel like I get this every day. Messages asking, what do you think? Is crypto dead? This cryptocurrency, that cryptocurrency, the one you reported on, it's not going up anymore. Yes, maybe there's currently no marketing for crypto. Maybe there's no innovation right now. Maybe there are no updates. But maybe all the developers are sitting in their rooms programming something. And then a certain cryptocurrency gets the coolest update, the best exchange listing. And then everything goes up again. We all don't know. I don't know the offices and the tasks of the developers or what's coming. I also don't know who will invest in Bitcoin in the future. So, you can write to me every day. I also respond to many things, but if people write to me every day saying the market is dead, my money is gone, well, then maybe one should have used that announcement last week to sell everything if one is so uncertain about the market. It's really, really difficult at the moment. That's why you also notice there are a few videos here. What should I report on currently? Should I tell you every day it's falling, it's falling, it's fallen again? That doesn't make sense either. That's why there are videos in between and then maybe a bit more energetic. Yes, then let's dive in and pick out some gains from all of this. And there is indeed a winner, and a big winner at that, and that's El Salvador. They have currently, as we can see here, said they want to buy 1 Bitcoin every day. 1 Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin. They took advantage of this drop and just bought 5 Bitcoins. El Salvador is really making a good move here. And these are all positive news. That's why we need to relax here. Be excited and pay attention. So, for me, currently, Bitcoin or generally cryptocurrencies, depending on what one wants. But if you want to invest solely in Bitcoin, because I believe that's where the greatest upside potential is at the moment for the coming years, yes, many can make more percentages, but I believe that with a lot of money from the USA, through Doge, through other investors, through the Bitcoin ETFs, and maybe other countries, that then say, wait a minute, what the USA is doing is a good idea. We could actually get involved too. I believe that Bitcoin currently has the best opportunity to increase significantly in value over the next few years. My personal opinion. And you should always have a portion in Bitcoin anyway, and not just in various cryptocurrencies. And then there's a statement from Kylie Chase. You have to be a bit cautious with this statement, but the Texas Senate has passed the Bitcoin law. Texas plans to buy every year worth $500 million US dollars Who's next? And that's also the topic. You have the USA as a whole with President Trump, but you also have these individual states that are planning or considering a Bitcoin reserve currently and coordinating the whole thing. So money could come again from the USA, from the individual states, even though the USA, meaning the government, has already invested. It's incredible what's happening here. If you want to take advantage of this, then check out the CoinEx exchange. CoinEx makes good sense at the moment, or generally makes sense to buy, because not only have the prices dropped for buying, but also the dollar-euro exchange rate has fallen. This means you currently get a USDT for very few euros. Previously, the prices were at 98, 97 cents. It has fallen to 92 cents for one USDT currently, or also USDT. You can select it here. You can shop here very easily. Through third-party providers, you can find it up here, trading via third-party providers, very easy shopping with various options. You can select different currencies, and then here also, CoinEx, UCT, UTC, but also directly receive Bitcoin or companies. You can swap here, just like on a DEX, for example. You can take any cryptocurrency from over 1,200 that they have listed, simply enter anyone here, say you have 1,000 of them and want to get Bitcoin, for instance, then you swap the whole thing. At the same time, you can see what is currently the most popular in terms of swaps. And of course, you can easily buy spot here and transfer these purchased cryptocurrencies, for example, to your hardware wallet. All of this with over 1,200 cryptocurrencies, as just mentioned. You can also do futures trading, copy trading, demo trading. Can you use all of it simultaneously? Beginner area, additional bonuses, additional cashback with the link in the pinned comment. There is so much to discover at CoinEx, so check out the CoinEx exchange and use our link to get additional cashback or bonuses. Let's go into the altcoin area and take a look at what's happening there right now. And yes, Eric Trump said it's a good time to buy Ethereum. He said this on the 3rd of February, and let's just take a look at what has happened since the 3rd February happened. 3rd February, we have to search a little bit right now. 3rd February in this green candle. This green candle, which previously went extremely downwards. So since then, he said, let's take the middle, or what was shown here. He said it's a good time to buy Ethereum. One should not listen to him. But there is definitely a buying opportunity here, with a minus 30% since this announcement. That means if you hadn't bought on the same day but later, and on the same day as mentioned, it was indeed a buying opportunity. I believe he described it as well because the price was hanging down here. We can see it. So, a firm has also suffered heavily here. One has to be quite honest about that. Let's go into the 4-hour chart and make it a bit larger. We see here the announcement of the crypto reserve, and they are also hanging far below where they were before. So, a firm has also suffered heavily. No question. Then, we saw this. Someone responded under the White House post. Indeed. Besides, I thought it was supposed to be a golden age and not a Bitcoin age. That was the statement from Donald Trump. And my opinion or my question about it is this. Is someone offended that it's not gold, but rather Bitcoin in this case? Yes, but one must be honest here. One must be completely honest here. You can't really claim that because gold was also repurchased. You have to be honest about that and take a look at this. Gold was added here. These are the gold purchase values that were made since Donald Trump has been in power, or rather, since the beginning of 2025. So, he has kept his campaign promises. One must simply be honest about that. No matter what one personally thinks of him or how one views his ideology or where he has been judged, it doesn't matter. Put all that aside and focus solely on what he promised and what he has implemented. Gold was repurchased in the Walnut era, Bitcoin Reserve Star, and many other things. Epstein, Weinstein, also a topic he wants to make public. So, we see many topics. Yes, and let's also think of Ross Ulbricht, whom he also released. So many things he promised, he also implemented. Unlike other politicians who say something beforehand and don't keep it after the election. I can't think of anyone right now. But you surely can. Okay, let's dive in and see what else is happening with the cryptocurrency, or rather the currencies that were also announced. Which ones were they? Namely Solana. They were indeed announced. And Solana, yes, looks exactly the same. What can one currently say? It's falling, so I can make another video now. It's falling. By the way, today it has fallen again. Yes, but they are exactly where they weren't before, but even lower. They haven't been this low in the last few weeks. So, they have gone even further down. Fallen XRP. Yes, they did fall under this announcement, but they also went a bit lower in the last few days. They were at $1.94. Currently, they are at $2.09 and some change. So Yes, they don't look good either. But the one that fared the best among all of them, which I wouldn't have thought beforehand, is Cardano. Take a look at this. We saw how the breakout was shot up over 70% after this announcement. Although with Cardano, yes, there wasn't much going on. If you overlay the charts, Cardano is the chart that hangs the most downwards, so it sags below. And Cardano, they shot up extremely, and not yet where they were before. So is Cardano the winner here from this situation? I would still maintain that Bitcoin is definitely the winner, because the Bitcoin reserve plus the additional law, I think that's another point. If that comes, we have to be honest, it should come within the first 30 days. This has now received an additional extension of 3 months, meaning within the next 4 minus. One month has already passed. So in the next 3 months, we will find out whether a Bitcoin bill will come, and if it is passed, no US president can easily overturn it, meaning this US Bitcoin reserve. Exciting, exciting, exciting. Now, of course, the big question for you, what do you think about these topics? Crypto stockpile, or rather, digital asset stockpile and US Bitcoin reserve? Of course, all exciting topics that need to be observed. So we are taking a broad look at the big picture of everything that's happening. Yes, I could have gone live on Friday, I could have gone live on Saturday, but for those who might be following me a bit at the moment, I also like to use this crypto free time, because it's quite boring. And as I said, making a video every day, that's a challenge. That's why I like to use the time to expand the Zocarel channel a bit, where I open some Pokemon stuff, play a bit of Rust, League of Legends, and other things where I just game a bit, like I used to with my friends, with my gaming clan, where we just spend some time. So if you're interested and want to follow me there, support is not a crime, feel free to subscribe to the Zocarel channel. I would really appreciate it. So, the conclusion of it all? I think what's happening is absolutely bullish. And the media are mixing everything up. That's why there could really be an opportunity here to buy Bitcoin cheaply again, although one must be honest. It's difficult at the moment, so let's just look at the topic of the financial market. Currently, the financial market doesn't find the whole thing so great, of course. Why are you now supporting Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies? Here, the financial market. Stocks are still there too. And that's why, yes, ever since Donald Trump came to power, a lot of gold has been bought, as I showed you, where now Bitcoin and also leadership have been bought by World Liberty Financial Market, where Trump has put his stamp on it. One must be honest about that. Yes, the stocks say, hello, don't forget us? And it feels like ever since the whole thing has been in power, it is indeed being forgotten. And this is also shown by the price, for example. The S&P 500, the index, keeps falling further. The DAX is completely strange to me, but it also takes a hit, as I said. And this naturally pulls Bitcoin down as well, even though it is actually positive. Plus the media that mixes everything up. Digital asset stockpile, so maybe Bitcoin is bought, but actually sold, because Bitcoin is everything in cryptocurrencies. The other cryptocurrencies are really just offshoots of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is essentially cryptocurrency. Everything is being mixed up so extremely, and as a result, the media is making the whole situation seem worse than it is. For me, the whole situation is extremely bullish, and I must honestly say, just earlier, when the price was below 80,000, I quickly typed a bit and wanted to say something needs to be invested. But we can assume that it might drop a bit more if you believe the chart analysts with their trading strategies. Ask me what. They say the price should be 76,000, it could fall there again, and then it could gain momentum. Upwards? We can be very curious about that, remember. We are now at the beginning of March, or almost mid-March, then comes April, May, and then it goes back into the summer slump. We are very curious to see where it goes. Feel free to share your opinions on this whole topic. Write it in the comments, remember our free Telegram group, and for further questions, write them in the comments. In this sense, I say thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.